I'm here at the behest of a client.
Who?
I cannot say, but let me assure you this. My presence will be ornamental. You will find me a respectful, quiet, passive observer.
You're a pack of vultures at the feast. Knives out, beaks bloody.
Knives Out, released in 2019, is a murder mystery with all its familiar elements. An outlandish old estate, an eccentric detective, a lawman who indulges the detective's weirdness, a dysfunctional family where everyone has a motive, and of course, an old rich guy who gets the ball rolling by being dead. But outside of that initial structure, this movie is anything but familiar. It's a fantastically fresh and different story in a genre that has become a bit stale and maybe a little bit lazy. And can we expect anything else from Rian Johnson? The Knives Out writer and director got a lot of heat, or love, depending on who you ask, after The Last Jedi. But regardless of how you felt about that movie, it was an undeniable fact that Johnson is a great writer and director. His track record was fantastic, and it amazed me that after The Last Jedi, some people even started to deny that. Knives Out wiped that away. It simultaneously re-energized a tired genre and reminded everyone of Johnson's prowess. Spoilers, of course, for anyone who hasn't seen it, by the way. If you haven't, definitely go check it out before you watch this video. Knives Out does so many things well. There's a huge cast, but none of them get left behind. They are all memorable and unique, and you don't get them confused because they all get their own little moments.
Had sex with my grandpa, you dirty anchor baby!
It pays homage to the classics like Clue and Agatha Christie novels, while still going against the grain and breaking with traditional story elements. The perfect example of this is the two reveals. The movie literally flips the script when Marta's perspective shows what happened 30 minutes into the movie, rather than at the end, like we all expect from mystery movies, but with a catch. We've already established people's perspectives differ and may not be totally true. It lays a seed of doubt in Marta's story, setting up the classic mystery genre staple of the detective's monologue reveal at the end, still being worthwhile. The story wasn't what it had seemed to be at the beginning, at the initial reveal, and even by the end, it keeps you guessing. It's a brilliantly crafted story, and from top to bottom, the production was filled with painstaking details that made this feel like a living, breathing mystery novel. If you can't tell, I really love this movie. Though there are so many to choose from, here are 5 of my favorite details and facts from Knives Out.
Oh my!
Stop it!
I can handle myself!
Stop it!
I can handle it!
Oh my god.
You gotta do this more often.
After finishing this movie, you probably came away with one of two thoughts. Either, that was a really great movie, I enjoyed it, or, wow, Chris Evans can really pull off a sweater. And that wardrobe was very intentional. Apparently, Rian Johnson mentioned to costume designer Jenny Egan that he thought Ransom would have beautiful, expensive clothes that he didn't take care of, aligning perfectly with his character. Egan ran with this idea, wearing holes into the sleeves of his iconic sweaters, and even distressing the heels on the loafers he wears throughout the movie. If you pay close attention, you can see it.
Marta, Harlan's caregiver. Good girl, hard worker. Family's from Ecuador.
The Thrombi's constant indifference towards Marta is evident throughout the movie. The family can never decide where she's from.
Family's from Ecuador.
Family's from Paraguay.
Your Brazilian nurse.
Is from Uruguay.
She was Brazilian. Or Chinese, or something weird.
And they all pass the buck about why she wasn't at the funeral when it was probably a unanimous decision.
Yeah, I was outvoted.
But one of the funniest instances of this was also improvised. It was Don Johnson's idea for his character to hand his empty plate to Marta as if she was the maid during the immigration conversation. Don Johnson just went with this in one of the takes, and Rian Johnson loved it and felt it worked perfectly with the character, and kept it in the final cut.
Immigrants. We get the job done. From Hamilton.
Oh.
The portrait of Harlan Thromby was originally intended to be a real portrait on set. If you look closely, Harlan's expression changes slightly in the different shots. This was intentional to reflect the mood of what's going on in the film. so they needed multiple portraits painted, but the painter was unable to complete them by the time shooting started. So once the paintings were complete, they digitally added them in post-production.
Tired of what I do, following arcs like lobbed rocks, the inevitability of truth.
Kay Callan's character Great Nana is a great little side character. She's got some funny moments alongside Daniel Craig especially, and turns out in the end to be pretty important to the plot. The idea that no one knows how old she is cracks me up every time.
Nana?
How old is she?
We have no idea.
But despite looking ancient, the actress is actually younger than Plummer. 6 years and 27 days to be exact. Plummer was born in 1929, and Callan was born in 1936. Though you would never know watching the movie. Kind of like how Cher played Meryl Streep's mother in Mamma Mia 2, Got a Mama Again, or Attack of the Mamas, or whatever the name of that sequel was. Hollywood feels like if you're over a certain age, it seems like you can be anyone's parent.
But we must look a little closer. And when we do, we see the donut hole has a hole in its center. It is not a donut hole, but a smaller donut with its own hole. And our donut is not a hole at all.
Apparently, Rian Johnson imagined the ending very different from what we ended up with. Johnson contemplated cutting Blanc's donut speech, as well as shortening the entire monologue, but Daniel Craig convinced him otherwise. Craig felt that the donut speech as well as the entire monologue was fantastic, and he had memorized all 30 pages. He was ready for the flow of running through all 30 pages of this monologue. Johnson ended up altering the way he shot the scenes, including almost all of the shot dialogue and favoring long takes instead of shorter cuts, because he found that Craig's performance became better and better the longer each take became. Craig was like a train building up steam, or a wine that got better over time. That's how wine works, right? What did you think of Knives Out? Did it do the mystery genre justice? Are you not a fan? If you didn't like it, why did you watch this entire video? Let me know in the comments. Please don't forget to subscribe. I really appreciate it. You'll see all my videos. And be sure and follow on social media. I post stuff about movies every single day. Thanks for watching.